We're back after all the lockdowns at PF International for the opening round of the Little Green Man or LGM Championship Series. Earlier, I caught up with the championship organiser Mike Mills to ask him about the history of the championship and all other things LGM. Mike, tell us a little bit about the history of the championship and why Little Green Man?
Okay, so the series has been run nearly 20 years now. Obviously getting more successful every year. The LGM name, or the Little Green Man name, actually came originally from Paul Fletcher's series back in the 60s. When we first started, we always ran green number plates in cadets, and they always said, oh, it looks like the Little Green Men are out there. So eventually asking Paul Fletcher if we could use the name, and through Dave Bewley, who works with us, we eventually called it the LGM from around 2007, 2008.
Okay, and obviously we lost the championship last year through COVID, obviously. How's the continued lockdowns into 2021 affected it, do you think? What are the numbers like?
So, yeah, last year I actually pulled the plug on it fairly early, seeing what was going to happen. I think it was the right choice to do that. But obviously people still ran championships towards the end of the season and squashed them in, whereas I wanted a full season. But we came back this year, put the calendar in early. The entries, virtually 80% of the entries rolled over, and people were happy to continue, so we didn't have to refund or anything else, and people were happy to come back and join us. So the entries, we've got over 170 registrations this year.
And we're filming the four finals, round one, which is the Saturday, and then tomorrow, Sunday, for round two. And only 4 classes, of course, means that any driver coming to do this championship must be plenty of track time compared to a lot of others.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first round's been at PF. PF is a busy club with obviously a lot of drivers, but a lot of the LGM drivers do race at PF automatically, so it doesn't always duplicate, and they can't race in another class. But yeah, the entries are nearly 150 here for the first 2 rounds. It's all good, and yes, it's IAME classes only, so with cadet, Mini X, Junior X30 and Senior X30, there's nothing else, so 4 classes is good series.
And as far as John Mills is concerned, your business obviously, with your family, Birrell Art, we see Birrell Art carts lined up here, so you are the Birrell Art dealer in the UK?
Yes, we're Birrell Art in the UK now for the past 6 years, obviously with the IAME importer since 2010. Obviously IAME is the engine provider for the class, whereas Birrell Art is an option for the classes for people to use, but obviously everybody is on IAME powered equipment, so being the importer of it, obviously we have to promote it and push it the best way we can, and the LGM is part of that.
And if people want to find out more about the championship, I know there's 6 rounds this year, but if they want to find out more, the website?
Yeah, the website is pretty much up to date. We are going to look at updating it again next year and make it a bit better platform. Obviously, with the help of you guys doing the TV and things like that, we'll just move it on. But yeah, it's a simple format that most people can understand.
Okay, well, good luck for this year.
Thanks, Alan. Thank you very much.
This is the very first time in its 20-year history the championship's been filmed. Let's get underway with the very first final of the season. It's for Mini X30. Here's Jake with the grid positions.
Leo Robinson in pole position from Macaulay Bishop, Howdy Mamassi on row 2 with Wesley Swain, then Eden Spanswick and Tommy Harfield, Lewis Bird and Hayden Eldridge from Charlie Morrison-Jones and George Robinson to round out the top 10, then Rylan Ekberg, Henry Jocelyn, Cameron P. Thompson, Gracie Mitchell and Finley Brown. Should be really interesting, this one off the line. They're in the tram lines, they can't move till the lights go, and we're racing at PF International. Bishop trying to chop across straight away and gets into the good lead. That's Harfield going wide on the grass, manages to catch it back, and Hadi Mamassi has slotted through into 4th position. Big slide as they battle for 5th position behind, but it's Bishop in front of Robinson, Swain and Mamassi as they go through. Mini X30 alive and kicking. They come off the Litchfield Bridge and now down to the back straight. Robinson is already lining up Macaulay Bishop. He's not going to wait around for long. There he goes to the inside line, and Leo Robinson heads the field already. Bishop there in 2nd place, Wesley Swain in 3rd, Mamassi closing up in 4th place. A lot of international flavour in this Mini X30 grid. The man up front, of course, Leo Robinson, will be representing his country, Algeria, later in the Academy Trophy this season. Good move from Bishop. He gets back to the lead. Wesley Swain in third position, swarming around. I was going to say a lot of international flavour. There's also Hadi Mamasi, of course, in fourth place. He is half representing Canada. He obviously races under a British licence, but there's a lot of big support from him back home. So there's a very exciting battle. These four have already started to check out and get clear. Tommy Harfield, running in fifth position, has held on to the position despite that little wobble through the grass. Eldridge there in sixth position in front of Jocelyn and Ekberg. The top four have got well clear and a spin. Oh dear, that's gone very badly wrong, and that is unfortunate for Henry Jocelyn, who has stormed his way through, lost it under the Litchfield Bridge. Thank goodness he didn't hit anything, because that is a nightmare place to go off the road. Macaulay Bishop making his intentions on this race very clear, but lots of pressure from Robinson and Swain, the two teammates for Fusion Motorsport, there in second and third. Hadi Mamasi staying very close to them as well in fourth place. And then, of course, you've got Tommy Harfield sticking it there in fifth position in front of Hayden Eldridge. Ekberg up to seventh now, of course. Spanswick up to eighth. Then you've got Lewis Bird, who is in P9 on the comp cart. And in 10th position, you've also got the hard-charging Charlie Morrison-Jones, who has brought the Jade Racing Team cart up into 10th position. So a big problem for Jocelyn. He was lucky, actually, not to strike anything as he came under the bridge, because that is full chat and high speed. He was very fortunate indeed. So as you can see, 7 minutes and 50 on the clock, plus the additional lap. So they are absolutely on it. Look, Bishop and Robinson are already trying to get clear. There is Jocelyn. You can see him at Marshall Post 2. So he is just about there. And fortunately, he's okay, but he is sadly out of the race after that spin. And now we've got down the back straight. Robinson just trying to stretch away from his teammate Wesley Swain. As much as he is a teammate, he knows he's going to have a battle with him, as that is Eldridge into fifth position. So Eldridge gets through there on Tommy Harfield. So that's up into P5. Excellent run so far for these guys up front. Macaulay Bishop running brilliantly, up in the lead of the race. The Privateer doing a fantastic job in front of the two Fusion Motorsport carts. And then, of course, you've got the evolved machine of Hadi Mamasi. Incredible to see him doing so well in 2021. Here's Finley Brown working his way back to the front. He's had a bit of a moment, I think, in the first couple of laps. So he's now got to try and get himself back onto the tail of the Caterpillar and charge his way further forward once again. Eldridge in fifth position behind these four, just trying to work with the guys behind to storm up through. But look, you've got Swain and Mamasi really giving pressure to Bishop and Robinson now in this A final. And there is the move from Robinson. He dives through on the inside, gets the lead. So a nice move there from Leo Robinson. Storms up and gets back into first position. Now, how long is Macaulay Bishop going to be able to hang on to him in second position before he makes the move? There's a nice one from Rylan Ekberg as he gets into sixth position. Wesley Swain, the fastest driver on track, from third position. He and Hadi Mamasi have been working together there to catch up to these two guys up front. So it's any one of these four that could get the victory. Robinson, Bishop, Swain, Mamasi. Very close indeed as they come through. And all four drivers with a great opportunity here. Cool conditions, a little bit of a damp weekend this one, but at least the A final is nice and dry as they run through the final turn. And they are absolutely locked together. There's not a single driver out of rhythm here. They've got good synchronicity and they are charging forward. Here's Macaulay Bishop trying to make his bid again. Up the hill. This is where Robinson made the move on him. Is he going to make the counter-attack? No, he's not going to make that kind of move this early doors. There is still a long way to go in this one. 5 minutes 45 on the clock, plus the additional lap. Leo Robinson now sets the pace, 60.440. So a good run so far. Here's the battle for fifth. This is Eldridge, Ekberg, Spanswick and Bird. They run together for fifth position. That's a move further up as Bishop has to defend from Wesley Swain. Just saw him going side by side in the battle for second place. And so far so good for Bishop. He holds on in front of Swain, but Hadi Mamasi is very close in behind them as well. And that's Mamasi through in second. Goodness me. The battle between Swain and Bishop has resulted in Mamasi getting through to second place. Excellent opportunism from Hadi Mamasi to get through into second place. I'll tell you what, everybody's going to be absolutely delighted with him back in Canada, doing a sensational job. Really exciting battling from Hadi Mamasi thus far to get himself into second place. I know for a fact that everybody over at Wembley Partners and the Grice Engines boys are so rotated and motivated for him over the course of this weekend. So there is going to be a really exciting battle now as they come up and over the crest. Mamasi trying to get back on terms with Leo Robinson. Wesley Swain trying to get in behind. Looking for the manoeuvre. Third position now. Here's the battle for fifth again, and Ekberg has got into that fifth place now in front of Hayden Eldridge, Spanswork, Bird, and then in ninth place, I think that is Tommy Harfield, who has dropped a long way off the pace compared to what we saw from him earlier on. So he is there in ninth position, just trying to recover, and all that takes is that one little trip off on the first lap on the grass. Where is Harfield? We'll look back. There he is in the background there in ninth position, so not able to hang with Spanswick and Bird at the moment as they try and get one over on Ekberg and Eldridge. They come through the S's again here. And onto the final corner. Now this could be such a game changer, and this is a good run from Lewis Bird out of the final turn. Can really work with Eden Spanswick down the main straight. They go through the right, through the left, King under the bridge. He's gaining a lot in terms of momentum, and he can work with Spanswick to get back onto the rear bumper of Ekberg and Eldridge as they run for fifth position. Great little duel, and up the inside, that's the move from Lewis Bird. He gets there on Eden Spanswick. So a nice overtaking move as they go onto the back straight. And Lewis Bird going very quickly. Fastest lap of the race, 60.32 now. So getting just a whisker over the 60 seconds dead mark. But Ekberg is not able to drop Hayden Eldridge and get after the top four. He is still hanging on to this fifth position with a very intense battle. Here they come again. And now what can Eden Spanswick do to respond to Lewis Bird as they come up towards Bobby Game corner through the right-hander. And now through that long sweeping right that goes on and on forever. Then it's a quick change into the left, which is a lot faster than that corner gives you credit for. I've walked this circuit several times, and you don't think you can pan through that corner particularly quickly, but it is a rapid left-hander. Here is Hadi Mamassi, right on the tail of Leo Robinson. Now I know for a fact that Hadi Mamassi is very eager to go on to the European stage. They were hoping that Canada would pick them up for the Academy Trophy this year in quite the same way that Algeria have done for Leo Robinson. Maybe that's something for 2022, and it looks as though there's a mechanical flag there for Finley Brown, so something is not quite right for him, and unfortunately his kart is now going to have to surrender and pull into the pits. That's unfortunate for Finley Brown. He will join Henry Jocelyn on the sidelines. So here's Mamassi putting a lot of pressure on Leo Robinson through the S's up towards Bobby Game. And Wesley Swain getting very close to these two now as well. In fact, Macaulay Bishop's actually struggling to stay with the trio at this moment in time. Leo Robinson is continuing his craft in the lead of this race. Mamassi close up behind him. Into the final right-hander. Onto the main straight again. Running short on time now. 1 minute 50 plus the additional lap. And these three well clear of Macaulay Bishop. Mamassi's got a lot of speed and pace. Can he get the lead in the A final? The thing is, you don't want to go for the move too early, otherwise you become a sitting target for the karts behind. And Mamassi will know that. He has worked his magic very much indeed in his cadet days, as has Leo Robinson. They know how to win races from the front. Here comes the move from Mamassi. Boom! Thank you very much. That'll do nicely. He takes the lead. Can he now sustain it? Because we are getting into the closing stages. Mamassi through to the inside line and holds the lead. There's the move from Gracie Mitchell. She gets through and makes her overtaking move. So there is the battle again for fifth position. Ekberg, Eldridge and Lewis Bird. 3 karts now together rather than 4, as Mamassi, there he is, in the lead, doing a fine job in front of Leo Robinson and Wesley Swain. Oh, that was a nice little manoeuvre. Excellently done there from Charlie Morrison-Jones. Just nipping through on the barrel arch chassis to the inside line. That's a hard overtake to pull off as well into the left-hander of the S's on towards Bobby Game, as that is such a tricky corner to get right in the best of times, never mind when you're making an overtake. So Robinson now becomes the chaser. Here he goes to the inside line. That's brave, but he makes it stick on the inside line. And there goes Swain as well. So Wesley Swain uses that little gap created to move up into second place. Hadi Mamassi back on the offensive as he charges to try and split them once again. But we are on the penultimate lap here. There's no doubt about that. They're going to run out of time just before they get to the finish line, so they will have one additional lap as well as this one on the inside line. Trying to make the move there on the inside was Cameron P. Thompson, but he couldn't quite make the move there on the 323 of George Robinson, so he has to hang back. Mamassi drifts wide, gets back on the line perfectly, up towards Bobby Game. He's got a real candle to hold to these two. And again, this battle still going strong between Morrison-Jones and the 339 of Cameron P. Thompson. Excellent racing between those two. They keep swapping positions every time they come near each other. Here we go then, the last lap begins. So can the Fusion Motorsport 1-2 be broken down again by Hadi Mamassi? He was the leader just a short while ago. Macaulay Bishop is just trying to stay in the game in case something happens between these three, and it could well do. This is PF International in Mini X30. The race isn't over till the fat lady sings, and she hasn't even warmed up her vocal cords yet. Down to the hairpin. Good defensive driving from Leo Robinson. And similar from Ekberg as he tries to hang on to 5th place. He's going to carry Eldridge with him past Bird. Lots of defensive driving on this final lap. Is Robinson going to hang on to the lead here? Oh, here comes Mamasi to the inside line of Wesley Swain. Is that good for second? Not only that, but Bishop's going for third. He can't make it. So Swain and Bishop go out wide. Mamasi's going to have second. He's not quite going to have the time to catch up to Robinson, but a brilliant fight back from Mamasi, and that puts him into P2 on the last lap. He held his nerve, Leo Robinson, though. He's going to take the victory out of the final turn. Robinson will take it in the A final. Excellent job from Leo Robinson. Hadi Mamasi, a fantastic second, and Wesley Swain, a dogged and determined third in front of Macaulay Bishop. Excellent racing from the pack in Mini X30. What a way to start things off here in LGM 2021. Race for the line as well there between the 321 of Tommy Harfield as he tried desperately to hang on there in front of Cameron B. Thompson. Here's your result. Leo Robinson just half a second ahead of Hadi Mamasi. Wesley Swain and Macaulay Bishop together at the line from Ekberg, Eldridge, Spanswick and Harfield. Lewis Bird getting a 5-second penalty rather sadly at the end of the race. And Cameron B. Thompson rounds up in the top 10. Lewis Bird the fastest lap of the day, 60.15. But Robinson victorious ahead of Mamasi and Swain.
First one on the board, first round. How's it feel, top step?
Yeah, it's good. Glad to be here first. I think it was quite a good race, and hopefully we can carry it on to tomorrow.
Yeah, it was a good race. There was 4 of you up at the front. How did you feel? Did you think you were going to win it from the start, or was it just hard work?
Yeah, once we got into the leading positions, it was we were leading for the middle bit, but then at the end we got a bit of competition, but I managed to hold it off.
Leo Robinson it is that has the championship lead after the opening race of the season from Hadi Mamasi and Wesley Swain.